You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
When we went to the class, the teacher said us that you can't enter the class. And when we didn't go out of the class, she said, "We'll push you or will you go out?"
Hijab have become an emotion. It have become emotion. In that college, the days we were not wearing hijab, that was very uncomfortable days.
These are the voices of H. Almas and Aliya Assadi, two of the 8 Muslim students of Government Pew College for Girls in Karnataka's Udupi district who have been barred by the college authorities from attending their classes. The reason for such a diktat has to do with the headscarf, their hijab. Now, this issue has been reported on off and on in the past 2 weeks, with a lot of people also coming out in support of the students. However, close to 3 weeks later, the prohibition continues. While the college administration says that their decision has to do with maintaining a certain uniformity in classrooms, the Quint spoke to 18-year-old Almas and 17-year-old Aliya, who described their ordeal to be nothing short of a quote-unquote mental harassment. In this podcast, we'll bring you their voices to understand their side of the story as they ask why can't they be entitled to both their religious identity and their education. The students say that on 31st December 2021, they were told by their teachers to quote-unquote remove the hijab or leave the classroom. Since then, despite their repeated urgings, the college administration have refused them entry into their classes. A meeting held recently on 19th December between the Udupi Assistant Commissioner, district officials, parents and college authorities also turned out to be futile, with the management refusing to budge. But is the college's ban on hijab in classrooms, citing the institution's dress code, legal or illegal? What does the law say? In this episode, we'll delve into this aspect as well with the Quint's legal editor, Vakasha Sachdev. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. I'm your host, Shorburi. In the past couple of weeks, as the matter from Udupi's Government Pew College for Girls came to light, we've seen several photos of the students in concern surface on social media, where they're seen sitting outside their classrooms in their hijabs and school uniforms. Among those students who've been forced to miss their classes are Almas and Aliya. Recounting the day when they were barred from entering the classes, Almas alleges that a teacher threatened to push them out of classrooms if they entered wearing a hijab.
Actually, when the first day, it was on December 31st or December 29th, I can say. When we went to the class, the teacher said us that you can't enter the class. And she said to ask the permission with the principal. And when we didn't go out of the class, she said, "We'll push you or will you go out?" We didn't say anything. We just came out of the class. And after that day, we didn't go to class. We just went and asked with the principal. Like every day we go and ask the principal, should we go inside the class or what, sir? He says, no, you can't go inside the class till you remove your hijab. If you want to go inside the class, you remove your hijab and you enter the class.
Now, as far as the college is concerned, they have justified the ban, citing the need for uniformity in classrooms. But Almas says that she and the other students started wearing the hijab to college in December 2021 only after they realized that there was no particular rule in the school banning the hijab in the first place, pointing out that the college has been holding other religious events in the college without any objections from any of the students. She asks why is the hijab at the center of such a row? Almas also claims that the seniors used to wear hijab in classes. However, that claim has been refuted by the college.
Actually, we tried to wear hijab when we were in first QC last year. We started to wear hijab last year because we saw our seniors wearing hijab. In the same college, they were our seniors, they used to wear the hijab. When we saw that, why is this injustice happening with us? Like they can wear and we can't wear, what kind of rules is this? We wanted to wear hijab and they said that, principal and teachers said that you can't wear hijab. We wore one day, they put us outside the class, but they didn't make this huge issue. They said you can't wear the hijab because you have already signed an agreement, your parents have signed an agreement in which it's written that it's clearly written that hijab is not allowed. So we had to remove the hijab and immediately after that lockdown took place and we couldn't do anything. That issue got solved over there. And in second pew, we got to know that when we came to second pew, we got to know that the agreement which our parents signed in has nothing about hijab. There's nothing mentioned about hijab. So when we got to know about that, we wanted to wear hijab. Our parents went and asked with the principal, they spoke with the principal. They kept it delaying, like saying exams are soon, exams are here, so we'll speak about that, we'll speak later, like that and all. So after the exams were finished, again the parents went and again the parents spoke with the principal, but he was delaying. He was saying, no, now I can't do anything, this, that. He was just giving some reasons, useless reasons. Then our parents said, okay, you children, you start to wear hijab because it's a government college. There are no restrictions like for religious things. Because our college, there are so many rituals, other religious rituals taking place in our college. So if they do so many things, we're not oppressing that. I don't have any objection for that. We don't have any objection for that. We watch that. We don't have any objection for that. We just say that we want a basic right, which is hijab. We just asking for that. That too we ask so peacefully. They don't have exact answer. They just ignore our things. Like they say, no, it's not allowed. They're saying to every reporter and everyone that in our college, never till now, no girl has wore hijab. If we show the proof, we show the pictures to them, like, see, this is the picture in the classroom. Last year, our seniors used to wear. And our seniors also spoke with them, but they're saying, no, it was not allowed. We never saw that. Teachers go to the class and they teach them, but they're saying it was not allowed.
But days since the prohibition came under the media's radar, it has triggered polar opposite reactions. While some people have come forward in solidarity with the girls, accusing the Udupi College of discrimination, this issue over wearing hijab in educational institutions have also triggered a saffron scarf versus hijab row in a couple of other colleges in Karnataka. Early in the first week of January, it was reported that a section of Hindu students in a state-run college in Karnataka's Chikmagaluru district had turned up wearing saffron scarves in their classes to protest against their hijab-wearing Muslim classmates. Around the same time, ABVP students of Pompey College in Mangaluru wore saffron scarves to lodge similar protests. While in both those cases the matter was resolved with the college authorities mandating that the college uniform be followed, the issue in Udupi has still not been resolved. As the prohibition snowballed into a controversy, several rounds of talks between the girls' parents and the college authorities have taken place. One of those meetings also included BJP MLA of Udupi, K. Raghupati Bhatt. However, so far all those talks have failed to resolve the stalemate, with the college authorities deciding to stick to the no hijab ban in classrooms. According to a report on the News Minute, Principal Rudra Gaura argued that the prohibition on hijab was only applicable during class hours and inside the classroom. College Development Committee Vice President Yashpal Suvarna also told Deccan Herald that there are 150 Muslim students studying on campus, but only 6 of them have quote-unquote made an issue out of the rule. But Aliya alleges that now, with the matter being public, some of the students are being forced to apologize to the college authorities and take their protest back.
But before, like 1 week, we were sitting like near principal's chamber, like outside the principal's chamber. Like we used to sit there, and everybody could see us. Like we are sitting outside, we are thrown outside. Everybody could see, even the outside people could see. But after 1 week, they made us to sit in another block where no one can see. No one can see that we are sitting outside. So this thing happened, and even there was a very sad incident took place last Friday. The 3 juniors, like first PUC girls, were called, like who were hijab. They were called to principal's chamber, where they were 4 professors and a principal, 4 male professors and principal sat together and forced and threatened 3 juniors to write an apology letter which reads their words. Like exactly what they say they have to write and sign on it. So they like forced them for around 2.5 hours, like from 12 to 2:30. From 12 they started to threaten them. They threatened with like your SEM marks is with me, you can't do anything, we can file complaint on you, but we'll not do that thing. And your internal marks is with us, what about your future is in our hand, like many things they told them. And like literally mentally harassed them, like making them stand in a corner, and just told them what they say they have to write in a paper and sign. But these girls did not write what they said, but they wrote opposite what is happening with them. So they tore that paper and like made them again write. So, and one girl did not write again. She did not write what they said. So again, they made her to write 3rd time. 3 times they made them to write like what they said. and that paper they wrote some about like we are not coming to college from 15 days, so we are not thrown outside, and like whatever we are saying in media is a false statement. These things they made to write in the piece of paper, like forcefully, very much, like they just mentally harass them. I can say these girls are like they are mentally too much disturbed.
But this issue has put the students in concern in a rather uncomfortable spot where they feel that they are being made to choose between their religious identity and their right to an education. When asked what the hijab means to her, Alia described it as her quote unquote pride and quote unquote emotion. And fighting for this is also costing Alia her education, she says.
For me, like since I'm like from my childhood, I have been like wearing hijab. In my school also we have like always been wearing hijab, and hijab have become an emotion, like it have become emotion. In that college, the days we were not wearing hijab, that was very uncomfortable days. Like I can say it was, we are not comfortable without hijab. Hijab is a pride, it's our identity, and it's very important to us. Yeah, we want both our hijab and studies.
Now, with this issue going on for 20 days at the cost of people's education, there are certainly questions regarding the legality or the illegality of such a ban on hijab during classes. The Indian Constitution, as we know, protects the freedom to practice one's faith as a fundamental right with reasonable restrictions. But is the wearing of hijab seen as an essential practice of religion by law? Does banning the hijab in a government educational institution violate a fundamental right? While technically no judgment holds the wearing of hijab as a full-fledged right, Vakasha, the Quint's legal editor, explains that this matter has come up before courts a few times before, and perhaps it's worth looking into what the Kerala High Court had said.
Now, under Article 25, I think everyone knows this, you have a right to freely practice or propagate any religion, or faith. There are reasonable restrictions to this, obviously, like every fundamental right has a certain set of restrictions. But remember, these have to be looked at from a very narrow, tailored way. And Article 25 specifies, public order, health. These are the grounds under which you can curtail the right to freedom of religion. So on a very, very basic level, if you look at what is being done here by saying, okay, these girls can't wear the hijab to attend classes, it's not clear why on earth that would be the case. Now, so, on a very basic level, on what justification are you giving for this ban? Now, you can say, oh, it's a school, schools have dress codes, they have rules. But again, these things have to all fall within some sort of logic under the law. Then you have to look at whether there's an essential religious practice. And in terms of what girls can wear and these kind of restrictions, again, to a progressive liberal mind, you might actually have a problem with it. But that's something which still is there. It's part of the religion. And the Kerala High Court has actually acknowledged this in a couple of judgments when they've looked at these issues in the past, because there have been cases brought by Muslim girls who are trying to sit for medical entrance exams and sort of examinations where they were being told, no, you can't wear a hijab. And they took it to the Kerala High Court. And the Kerala High Court, after looking at the issues properly, delivered judgments where they said, yes, these girls should be allowed to do this. Now, in contrast, people might say, oh, but the Supreme Court didn't allow this, because in 2016, a petition was taken up there to try and say that girls should be allowed to wear hijabs in these examinations. And the Supreme Court, and it might be argued that the Supreme Court said, oh, no, you can't do this. But actually, the court didn't pass a judgment on this. Orally, there were observations that would this really, how can this really, it won't change their faith if they have to just for one day go and sit and take this exam like this. But they're actually not in a judgment. So actually, the sort of legal precedent which holds the field, you could say right now on this, actually clearly would be the Kerala High Court decisions. There is persuasive value to that. If the girls were to take this up to the court, they would be able to make, I think, very strong arguments on this, saying that, look, we are not, completely disregarding the uniform. We're doing this in a reasonable manner. You have to now also make sure that you're not restricting our right to freedom in an unreasonable manner. It has to be a proportionate restriction. Saying that they can't wear a headscarf certainly isn't. It comes in conflict with their essential practice under their faith and their right to privacy, which gives them this kind of decisional autonomy, in a reasonable way. So, I mean, even while one might argue that it's not absolutely, cast iron right now, that there is a precedent which would work in their favor, I think the arguments would be very strong.
Will this impasse between the students and college administration come to an amicable solution? Follow the Quint for all the developments on the story. If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.